Hi guys, this is George back here with another vlog, and today I am back here at Motiongate at Dubai Parks and Resorts here in Dubai. Really excited to get back into this park. I was here last year, got on lots of rides in here. It's an absolutely brilliant park and I can't wait to get back in there, get back on all the rides and see this brilliant park again. Yeah, there's no new rides since I was here, however. There are a couple of rides that I wasn't able to get on last time, but I am very much looking forward to getting back on rides such as Dragon Gliders, the Capital Bullet Train, Shrek, Merry Fairy Tale Adventure, and so much more. So let's head into the park and get on some rides. So I'm inside the park and I'm going to start off by going into the DreamWorks area and go for a ride on Dragon Gliders, which is my favourite ride here. So this area is completely indoors. It's split off into 4 different zones that all make up this big DreamWorks area. You've got How to Train Your Dragon, Shrek, Madagascar, and also something else in here as well that I can't think of right now, but I'll find out in a second. Kung Fu Panda, that's the one, that's the other one that's in here. So yeah, I'm gonna head straight to the How to Train Your Dragon area and go for a ride on Dragon Gliders, the Mack Rides powered suspended coaster. This area in here is absolutely amazing. Here's a look at Dragon Gliders. I can't wait to get back on this. It's a great mix between coaster and dark ride, this ride. But look at the theming around in here. It's absolutely incredible. There's the entrance just over there. Got a pirate ship over there as well. It's such a beautiful area. Dragon Gliders is one of the best family coasters I've been on. It's an absolutely incredible experience, and this is coming from someone who hasn't even watched How to Train Your Dragon as well, bear in mind. You go on there and it tells you the story. The theming is absolutely incredible. It's a mix between screens and theming. It was a lot faster in some sections than I remember as well. It's like there are some sections where you're going quite slow, going through the dark ride sections, then you stop to watch a screen, and then something goes wrong and you get taken away really fast. It's like you start moving really quickly to get away. It's like, we gotta get away, and it's like you go around really fast, and of course you go through this whole dark ride section, and then towards the end of the ride you come out into this area where it takes you for like an aerial view around the entire area around here, and then you go back down a bit of a spiral helix and back into the station. It's an incredible ride, beautifully themed, onboard audio as well. You got a mix on there of actually being spoken to. It's like you can hear the sounds of the different dragons you're being spoken to a few points, and then there's also points where it's playing music as well. It's a beautiful attraction, one of the best family coasters I've ever been on. A great mix between coaster and dark ride. If you haven't already been here to Motiongate to come and ride this, it's amazing. Of course, I went on Arthur for the first time a few weeks ago at Europa Park, which is the original of this ride system, and I enjoyed that one. However, this one is leagues above that one. I absolutely love this ride. It is incredible. So now I'm gonna go for a ride on Shrek's Merry Fairy Tale Adventure. Still can't say the name properly without getting into a bit of a tongue twist, but yeah, this is a trackless dark ride. It's a beautifully themed ride. Basically, it's all about the story of Shrek as a puppet show. What I didn't realize last time was that it was actually supposed to be a puppet show, because all the animatronics are like puppets, and it just looked kind of like all the animatronics. It's like you could see all of the workings of the animatronics, and I wasn't so keen on that. But then I realised that it's actually supposed to be like that, because it's like you're going through the puppet show version of the film, which Shrek and Donkey are telling to their kids. So it's a really well thought out story, and I can't wait to get back on this, and it's only a 5-minute queue. That is an absolutely incredible dark ride. One of the best dark rides I've ever been on. It's amazing. It's a long ride. It tells the story of the film so well. Even if you've never watched the film before, you could go on there and you would know exactly what's going on. The whole story of it is telling you what happens in the film. But a lot of rides, it's just like, right, we're going to take you through the story of this movie. But this one, it's like, right, how can we take that idea but put a bit of a twist on it? I know, let's tell the story of the film, but in a puppet show, and we're gonna put the riders inside that puppet show. as if they're watching it whilst telling you the story of the film, because it's like Shrek and Fiona telling their kids the story of how they met. It's an incredible ride. I love how they made it. They added that little twist to it. It's so well themed. It's a long ride. It's absolutely incredible. I absolutely love it to bits. Both of the rides here that I've done so far, I've done to such a high standard, and that is the whole park. Last time I was here, I was really impressed with this park. It's so well presented. They've got loads of rides here, and they've got some stuff that's really high standard, especially in this DreamWorks section. So now I'm going to go for a ride on Madagascar Mad Pursuit, which is a Gerstlauer Infinity coaster, and there it goes. Yeah, so it's got a very powerful launch on here. No inversions, however, it's a pretty intense ride, so I'm looking forward to getting back on it. So the coaster's just gone down. I'm not going to stick around and wait because I'm going to try and fit 2 parks in today. It's already 12:30 and the park closes at 9. However, I'm not going to stay in this park until 9 because I'm going to head over to the Real Madrid world over at the other side of Dubai Parks and Resorts to go in there and see that. So I'll probably leave this park at about 6 or 7 to go in there because that one's open till 10. So and I'll spend a few hours in there. So yeah, I've bailed on that one for now. I'll come back to it later, and instead I'm going to go into the Kung Fu Panda land and go for a ride on Unstoppable Awesomeness. This ride was closed last time I was here. I believe it's a simulator. However, yeah, it wasn't a big deal. It was closed last time, but it's a ride I haven't been on, so I'm going to go for a ride on it now. So I've just experienced Unstoppable Awesomeness. Yeah, it was a simulator attraction. So we went into this really well-themed room and watched the first pre-show, and then we went into another room and watched the second pre-show, and then we got on the ride itself. The ride was really aggressive, actually. So you had this lap bar, which was quite uncomfortable, and then also, with how aggressive the ride was, that also made it pretty uncomfortable. It was really kind of shaking you around a lot. If you are going on there, be prepared to kind of get battered around a bit because it does throw you around a lot. It's really aggressive. But yeah, it was a good ride, and I probably won't go on it again. However, I did enjoy it. I've never seen Kung Fu Panda, so I didn't really understand many of the references. However, the story's pretty easy to understand. The story's pretty much you're delivering this parcel to the emperor, so it's a very basic story, but it tells it really well. You go on this journey to the emperor to deliver the parcel to him. So yeah, that was a good story. Yeah, it was an alright ride. However, yeah, I probably won't do it again. And this area in here is really well themed as well, just like all the other areas. There's the entrance for Unstoppable Awesomeness, and then you've also got this teacups ride here that's themed to noodles. The theming in all 4 of these sections is just incredible. This whole DreamWorks section is fantastic. But yeah, I'm going to head outside now, and I'm going to go into the Lionsgate section of the park and go on some roller coasters. So it's an advertised 30-minute queue for the Capital Bullet Train. This is rare that you see queues like this at this park. This park is known for being always quiet. But yeah, 30 minutes for the Capital Bullet Train. Wow, that's rare. I mean, it's not that busy, but for this park it is. Let's go for a ride. This is a Mack Mega Coaster. 3 launches, it's got a multi-pass launch. Yeah, looking forward to getting back on this. So the Capital Bullet Train was pretty good there. It was better than I remember. However, my main problem with it is the fact that it's short. It's a very short ride. You've got a couple of different airtime pops on there, which are good. A couple of inversions on there. However, I do wish it was a bit longer because it does feel like it's over pretty quickly. So of course you start off by going onto the transfer track. You slide over onto the launch. You launch forward, halfway up the loop, roll back up into the spike, roll back again through the loop, and then you go through a couple more airtime hills. There's a good S-bend on there, a corkscrew, but yeah, it is over pretty quickly, and you get into the brake run, just wishing for that little bit more. However, it is still a good fun ride, but it's not a standout roller coaster. I'm going to go on the Pan Am aerial tour now. I'm not entirely sure what this is. I think this might be a simulator. However, I'm not 100% sure. I didn't go on this last time, so let's go and see what it's like. So the Pan Am aerial tour was alright there. It was a simulator. It was better than the other one because it was much more comfortable. With this one, it wasn't quite as aggressive, so it didn't chuck you around as much, but the movement was really impressive on there. It was very realistic kind of movement, like really kind of flowing around as if you are flying through the air. So I did like that. The screen quality wasn't the best, however. It was alright. It was pretty short, however, yeah, not too bad of a ride. It's definitely better than Unstoppable Awesomeness, however. It's not a standout ride here, but yeah, it was alright. Oh, Capital Bullet Train's on 40 minutes now. Okay, so I'm gonna head over now to, I think I'm going the wrong way. I'm gonna head over to the Mara spinning coaster, and I'm gonna have a look at the queue for that. This one I'm worried is gonna have a big queue because it's quite a low capacity ride. So I'm expecting it to have quite a big queue, and if it does have a big queue, then I'll probably skip it. However, I would like to go on it because it is a really good ride. So yeah, I'll go over and see what the queue's like for that, and hopefully get a ride on it. So this area here is really impressive, designed to look like Las Vegas. And there is the spinning coaster. Now You See Me High Roller. So yeah, let's go and see what the queue's like for this. So a 30-minute advertised queue for Now You See Me High Roller. And here we go, this is what you enter into when you come in. Really well themed. There are parts of this queue that are really well themed, but yeah, unfortunately there's no theming around the coaster. But yeah, there are some really impressive scenes in here. Look at this, it's like we're going backstage. Let's go. So I've just had a ride on Now You See Me High Roller. It's a good spinning coaster that has got a massive first drop on there. It's a nice long layout, got a decent spin on there. The only thing with that, there's absolutely no theming on it. It's pretty much a roller coaster in the desert. Absolutely no theming, but it is a great layout. Good spin on there. There's a non-inverting loop on there, which is really good. Some really fun elements. It is a good fun ride. But yeah, if it gets a big queue, then yeah, maybe it's one to skip because it does have a pretty low throughput. Over here you've got John Wick Open Contract, the SNS 4D free spin. I'm definitely not going to be riding on this today because it's one of my least favourite roller coasters and it's advertised as a 25-minute queue. Definitely not. But yeah, with this, the queue line is really cool because you can choose to go one of two ways, and it's an incredibly well-themed queue. On one side, you're against John Wick, and one side, you're helping John Wick. So that's a really cool detail. It's like two separate queues, and you get a slightly different experience depending on what side you go on. But yeah, I'm not going to be enduring the pain on this today. So I'm now in the Columbia Pictures section of the park. I was going to go for a ride on Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs River Expedition, but it's on a 60-minute queue, so I'm not going to queue that long for that. And instead, I'm going to go for a ride on Hotel Transylvania. So this is another trackless dark ride, and it's pretty good as well, from what I remember. Some good theming in here. I remember this big open room where all of the vehicles go down, you interact and all split off and go different ways, and it's advertised 20 minutes, so let's go. Hotel Transylvania is a great dark ride. It's long, lots of different scenes in there, lots of theming. It's a really good ride. Trackless dark ride as well, with all the vehicles interacting with each other. It's like you go into this big room and then you're all kind of going past each other in different directions, and one goes off into one scene and then you go off into another scene and you go right down to the end of the room and go into a scene, turn around and then come back on yourself. Like, it's a really high-tech dark ride. However, the one thing with that I would change, I would put some doors on the scenes, because you go into this big room and then there's different rooms that are on the side of this big room, and you're making your way down in this big open room, but you can see all of the different scenes that you're about to go into, especially at the start when you haven't gone into any of these scenes yet. You can see all of them, and then you know what's coming, and also you can hear the audio from in them as well. It's like you're going through one other scene, but you can hear the audio in the scene next to you. So if you put some doors on there, it'll make it a bit more of a surprise for when you actually go in there and you don't know what to expect, and also it'll help block out the sound a bit more as well. So yeah, I'd add some doors on the scenes, but other than that, it's a really good ride. So it's actually getting really busy here in Motiongate now. You've got this coaster here, the Green Hornet High Speed Chase. I was going to go for a ride on this, but it's advertised as a 50-minute queue. So I'm not going to queue that long for it. I'm not going to go on Ghostbusters. You've got the Ghostbusters dark ride over there as well, but that's not very good, so I'm not going to go on that today. But yeah, I would have gone for a ride on here, this Gerstlauer bobsled coaster, but yeah, pretty busy. I'm not willing to queue that long for it. Instead, I'm going to go back into the DreamWorks area, try and get on Madagascar Mad Pursuit, and then hopefully also Shrek and How to Train and Dragon Gliders again. So I've just had my final rides here at Motiongate, and yeah, I'm heading over to Real Madrid World now to go and experience that park for the first time. I didn't get on Madagascar Mad Pursuit, unfortunately, because the queue was massive for it, so I didn't go on that. I tell you what though, as much as I haven't got on as many rides as I'd wanted to today because it's been busy, it's really nice to see this park getting crowds, because this park is very well known for being empty and for not getting any crowds, and people say things like, oh my god, it's always so empty, how does this park actually afford to stay open? Today it's actually been really busy, and you know what, it's fantastic to see, because it's a brilliant park. It's great to see the park finally getting the crowds it deserves. You can tell that so much love and care has gone into this park. The rides are amazing, it's so well themed, it's looked after so well, it's clean, it's tidy, it's amazing. It's a big park as well, bear in mind, but they make sure that everything's looking good. It's amazing. They've got two absolutely world-class rides here, Shrek, the Shrek Dark Ride, and also Dragon Gliders. Incredible rides. They are worth coming to this park alone. Everything here is a ride that you don't want to miss out on. Sure, there's stuff that isn't as good as some of the other stuff, however, every ride, if you're coming here for the first time, there's not a ride that you'd want to see. It's like the first day you come here, you'd come here and be like, I want to get on everything. I'd recommend getting on everything if you haven't been on it before. There's no rides here that I would say don't bother with, because they're all brilliant, apart from that 4D free spin, which I don't like, but I know there's people out there that do like them, so that's just depending on what kind of rides you like. But there we go. That now wraps up this vlog here from Motiongate. I'm heading over to Real Madrid World now. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at George Kelly and follow me on Twitter at George Kelly. Thank you very much for watching. Stay safe, everyone, and I'll see you all later. Bye.